This is the Emergency Medical Minute, sponsored by Health One. The Emergency Medical Minute is excited to announce that we are now offering AMA, PRA, Category 1 credits via online course modules. To access these and for more information, visit our website at www.emergencymedicalminute.com/CME-courses, or simply click on the link in our show notes and create an account. Okay, so we're going to do a quick medical minute about something that's super ubiquitous in the ER, which is pain, right? So around 70% of the patients that you see are here because they've got something that hurts, right? So how would you describe pain? What's the reason why we get pain? Great, crickets. Perfect. So here's how you should think about pain, right? So a big part of the reason why we have an opioid epidemic is because we were all taught that pain is the enemy, that no matter what, we had to get the patient's pain down, and we had to focus and obsess about pain, right? And we made this whole 1 to 10 pseudoscience score that talks all about pain. And really, we have these faces that you point to, and you say, would you rather be the face that's crying or the face that's happy, right? And everyone wants to be the friggin' happy face. And then we gave them enough narcotics that they were happy, or at least indifferent to the fact that they were in pain. So really for the past 30 years, we've been taught to fear pain and to think of pain as the enemy, where pain is really not the enemy. So do you know the difference between nociception, pain, and suffering? What's the difference there? So they're actually really importantly different. Nociception exists in pretty much everything from a worm upwards, okay? And that's the ability to feel, this noxious stimuli, something that's dangerous to you, and to recoil from it, right? So if you have a worm, and we are all at one point in grade school and dissected worms, right? But if you cut the tail off a worm, it's going to go crazy, right? Now, can a worm feel pain? The answer is no. Right? So even in your Glasgow Coma Scale, if a person has zero consciousness, you can go up there and stab their foot with something, and what will they do? They'll withdraw their foot to you, right? And that's part of your Glasgow Coma Scale. So that thing, nociception, is actually a brainstem reflex, right? Where if there's a reflexive thing that happens, you jerk away from it. And even lower invertebrates have that. So pain is nociception plus cognition, okay? So if you touch a stove, you'll go, oh shit, my hand hurts. And you'll look at it and say, well, I shouldn't touch that hot stove, right? So it involves nociception, and it involves processing in your frontal cortex, okay? Now, pain is natural, right? There's none of us who are going to go through life without any pain. So pain is not the enemy there. And you can experience pain without suffering. Right? So there's a lot of people in this room who go and like doing things that give you pain, but you're not suffering through them. So for example, I love habanero peppers, right? And I cry and I snot and my mouth is on fire and I have pain, but it's also incredibly enjoyable. Or if any of you are interested in long distance sports, like we have Kaz, who, is an Ironman. And when he goes an Ironman, he hurts like hell, probably, and is in pain for a lot of it. But he's actually in ecstasy while he's doing that stuff, right? So what's the difference between pain and suffering? There's no benefit. Yeah, there's basically emotional distress, right? So there's emotional distress that happens with suffering. So not only is it that you're in pain, but then you interpret that pain as a tremendous insult, right? So you're emotionally distraught. There's an injustice that's been committed. And all of these correlate, by the way, to different parts of your brain, right? So nociception is peripheral nervous system reflex. Pain is frontal cortex cognition. I understand that I should not be doing that because it's causing me pain. And then suffering involves your limbic system, which is the emotional component of your brain, right? And we actually cause suffering in medicine when you don't coach patients that pain is normal. So when you tell patients, oh, well, we're just going to treat you out of the pain and you shouldn't experience any pain, what you're doing is you're robbing the patient of one of the most important pieces of pain control, which is their psychologic barriers to it, right? So if you have a pregnant lady and you say, hey, you're going to give birth, it's not going to hurt at all, don't worry about it, right? And she gives birth to her first baby, she's going to be not only emotionally distraught, but thinking something is terribly wrong. But instead, we coach pregnant women, hey, this is going to hurt like hell, but it's natural, it's okay, and at the end, you're going to have a friggin' baby, right? So we coach women through this all the time when it comes to childbirth and natural things. And the big switch you have to do is pain is not the enemy. Pain is a guide. Suffering is the enemy. And one of the ways we can relieve suffering is by learning how to discuss pain better with patients. Okay? Okay, cool. Quick medical minute / philosophical diatribe.
We are on a quest to provide the world with free medical education. Please help us out by rating us on iTunes, following us on social media, and subscribing to our newsletter at emergencymedicalminute.com.